Hey y'all, so this isn't going to be the highest quality video you've ever seen in your life, but then again, when have my videos ever been? I'm here for information. This might, however, be a little bit dry because I'm just trying to cut through to the facts. You see, people are complaining about, of course, Donald Trump putting kids in prison, separating them from their parents, separating families. Oh, the humanity, why would the Republicans do this? So I just want to cut the mustard here and make it clear where this all originated. So, on September 30th, 1996, President Bill Clinton signed into law the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996. What a mouthful. It was colloquially referred to as IRIRA. That is IIRA. How exciting. The act states that immigrants unlawfully present in the United States for 180 days but less than 365 days must remain outside the United States for 3 years unless they obtain a pardon. If they are in the United States for 365 days or more, they must stay outside the United States for 10 years unless they obtain a waiver. If they return to the United States without the pardon, they may not apply for a waiver for a period of 10 years. Okay. Among other things, it gave the Attorney General, here it comes, broad authority to construct barriers along the U.S.-Mexico border and authorize the construction of a second layer of border fencing to buttress the already completed 14-mile primary fence. Note that that is separate. The fence is mentioned separately from the barriers. That would suggest that the barriers... Oliver, really? Come on. Crazy dog. I'm babysitting somebody's dog for a week. Poor blind old dog, though. Anyways, that means that Bill Clinton essentially said, build the wall. Bill Clinton, your hero. Wait, no. Sorry, you're pedophile. Pedophile? Is he a pedophile? We know he was a rapist. Come on. What are we going to pile on him? Whatever. Anyways, let's continue. By the way, he was also a Democrat. Let's not forget that one, people. Construction of the secondary fence stalled due to environmental concerns raised by the California Coastal Commission. Sure it did. Here we go, though. Previously, immediate deportation was triggered only for offenses that could lead to 5 years or more in jail. Under the Act, minor offenses such as shoplifting may make individuals eligible for deportation. When IRIRA was passed in 1996, it was applied retroactively to all those convicted of deportable offenses. Meaning, if you had committed a minor crime a few years ago, that means now you're deportable. You didn't have to, make that mistake after the law. Having made it before the law pretty much set you up for failure. Note, this is how the Democrats run it too. Things that you're doing right now, the Democratic Party could easily call them crimes 5 years from now or whenever they get back into office, and you'll be culpable. This kind of set that precedent. However, in 2001, the U.S. Supreme Court decided that Congress did not intend IRIRA to be applied retroactively to those who pled guilty to a crime prior to the enactment of IRIRA if they would not have been deportable at the time if they pled guilty in INS versus St. Cyr. So yeah, even the Supreme Court couldn't stomach that. ERIRA's mandatory detention provisions have also been repeatedly challenged with less success. The Reid Amendment, a portion of ERIRA that makes people who renounced U.S. citizenship excludable from the U.S. if the Attorney General finds that they renounced for purposes of tax avoidance, has also been suggested to be unconstitutional. Okay, sorry libertarians, you're fine then. The ERIRA authorized the Immigration and Naturalization Service to use secret evidence against aliens. Secret evidence is in quotations. In various immigration proceedings if the evidence is deemed classified and the INS considers it relevant to the case. Critics have challenged the constitutionality of this provision in 1999 and 2000. A Secret Evidence Repeal Act was introduced in Congress but never passed. So, Bill Clinton signs this law in, got a lot of weird, crazy things in it that make it so that things that you might not have known were crimes, or things that weren't crimes at the time, they can get you in trouble. And they didn't have to tell you about it. Secret evidence. The Supreme Court fought against it. Congress shot it down. I mean, there's a lot of shadiness going on here. Deportees may be held in jail for months, even as much as 2 years, before being brought before an immigration board at which defendants need to pay for their own legal representation. In 2001, the Supreme Court curtailed the Immigration Service's ability to hold deportees indefinitely in Zadvydas versus Davis. So again, the Supreme Court fights against this law that Bill Clinton put into play. It seems as though maybe he was being a little unconstitutional. Upon passage of this law, states were restricted from offering in-state tuition at public institutions to students who were not legally in the country. This has been a point of contention because people are saying that Trump and the Republicans are Nazis because they don't want to give state prices in school to illegal immigrants or to DACA recipients. Meanwhile, here, ERIRA actually says the same thing. No in-state tuition. No in-state prices. Specifically, if a state allows illegal immigrant students to be eligible for in-state tuition, then residents from other states must also be eligible for in-state tuition. Several states have passed tuition equality laws by allowing anyone, regardless of legal status, to apply for in-state tuition if they meet the state's eligibility requirements. Oh, Bill Clinton passes this law. It is found to be unconstitutional, at least on two fronts, by the Supreme Court. It's fought by critics. And states decide to go around it by enacting their own laws? Sounds familiar. It sounds like all the stuff that critics of Trump like to scream and shout about him. A 2018 paper found that the act reduced the health and mental health outcomes of Latino immigrants living in the United States by escalating the fear and risk that illegal immigrants be deported. This year, Bill Clinton's law was found to damage the mental health of people who weren't even deported yet, who weren't even within custody, who weren't even found to be violators. This is just, it was interesting to me, interesting enough to make a video about. Now, I'm coming up on the 10-minute mark, so I am going to cut this off, but folks, you got to do your research and you got to pay attention to what's going on out there, because this isn't Donald Trump's doing. Bill Clinton also separated black fathers from black children Nobody seems to want to call him out on that either. I don't know, maybe it's because they'll receive 2 to the back of the head in an alley in an apparent suicide. I don't know. In the meantime, Oliver's barking at something, so I gotta go. Bye. Oh, like, share, subscribe. Catch me on Twitter at HYL_Mickey_M. I'll see you later. Bye.